The treatment of black people at the hands of one of the global powers of the world, the United States of America, before the modern era is really not hidden from anyone. This issue has been all over books and movies for years now. And whether the U.S. likes it or not, the black community now play just as crucial a role in shaping the country's image and future as any white person. Chadwick Boseman was a highly famous and respected actor. Kamala Harris is the vice president. Rosalind Brewer is the CEO of Walmart. Dr. Kismekia Corbett was a lead scientist in developing the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. And these are just a few named examples. There are countless others of black people leading the world now. However, this was not the case a few years ago, and the black community has struggled and fought immensely to get to this point. There have been people like Nelson Mandela and organizations and parties like the Black Panther Party who have each played a very specific role in helping the black community to get to this stage. The Black Panther Party, a revolutionary self-defense organization founded in 1966, has become synonymous with the fight for racial equality and the struggle against systemic oppression. Inspired by the teachings of Malcolm X, the party aimed to protect black communities from police brutality and provide support and services to black people all over America. However, despite its peaceful intentions and focus on improving the lives of black Americans, the Black Panther Party faced numerous challenges and obstacles, including violent confrontations, biased convictions, and internal conflicts. The Black Panther Party was founded in 1966 in Oakland, California by Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton. It was a self-defense organization inspired by the teachings of Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a prominent civil rights activist and Muslim minister who rose to prominence in the 1950s and 1960s after he advocated for black Americans' self-reliance and self-defense against white oppression. He was a powerful orator and advocated for black self-determination, black pride, and armed self-defense against systemic oppression and discrimination. This party emerged as a response to the ongoing racial discrimination and police brutality that black Americans faced in the 1960s. Despite the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, black Americans were still struggling to gain equal rights and opportunities. Discrimination was prevalent in housing, education, employment, and law enforcement, leading to a sense of hopelessness and anger among the black community. The founders of the Black Panther Party, Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton, were both students at Merritt College in Oakland, California, where they witnessed firsthand the daily injustices that black Americans faced. They were inspired by the teachings of Malcolm X, who advocated for black pride, self-reliance, and armed self-defense. The party's ideology was reflected in its 10-point program, which outlined a list of goals for black Americans, including the need for full employment, decent housing, education, and an end to police brutality. The party carried out different plausible actions that aimed to provide support and services to black communities all over the country. The Black Panther Party's activism included armed patrols of black neighborhoods to monitor police activity, community service programs such as free breakfast programs for children, and health clinics that provided medical care to underprivileged communities. The breakfast program alone fed around 20,000 children every day, ensuring that they had access to a healthy meal before going to school, boosting the productivity and health of black children. The party's members would patrol black neighborhoods armed with guns, which they openly carried to demonstrate their legal right to bear arms. They would monitor police activity and intervene if they witnessed any abuses of power, such as unwarranted arrests, beatings, or shootings. The party's members were also involved in organizing rallies, protests, and demonstrations against racial injustice, gaining widespread support from the black community and other minority groups. By 1968, the Black Panther Party had around 2,000 members across the United States, with chapters in major cities such as New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. However, due to this popularity, the party faced violent confrontations, biased convictions, and internal conflicts that ultimately led to its downfall. The party's use of armed self-defense and Marxist ideologies made many people uncomfortable, leading to violent confrontations with law enforcement agencies. The party's co-founder, Huey Newton, was arrested and charged with murder in 1967, which many viewed as a biased conviction. Newton became a political prisoner, and his case became a rallying point for the party's supporters, who saw it as an example of the government's persecution of black activists. This sparked unrest as many black people were angered at the unjust arrest without any proof, and chaos spread in the country as supporters protested against the arrest. Apart from this, the party's members were often targeted by law enforcement agencies, resulting in many arrests, beatings, and even murders. In 1969, the FBI declared the Black Panther Party a communist organization and a threat to national security, which resulted in using unjust methods to dismantle it. The FBI's tactics included charging innocent members with crimes they did not commit, planning events that led to members' deaths, and instigating rivalries between black nationalist groups. One of the most significant events that led to the party's downfall was the Franklin cover-up. In 1978, the FBI planned a drug deal between members of the Black Panther Party and a Lebanese group in order to discredit the party. The plan went wrong, and the police ended up killing 2 Black Panther members. The FBI covered up their involvement in the event, leading to an outcry from the black community and civil rights activists. The party's members were accused of involvement in the cover-up, which led to further violence and instability. The FBI's involvement in the Black Panther Party's downfall remains a cautionary tale about the impact of systemic discrimination and oppression. It shows how the authorities in the U.S. were determined to oppress black people and create obstacles for them, and the lengths they were willing to go to for that. They weren't ready to hand over power to the black community, even power to exercise their basic rights, and would ensure any organization or individual that tried to bring the black community out of the authorities' shackles would fail and not survive. The Black Panther Party's peaceful intentions and focus on improving black communities' lives were overshadowed by the FBI's portrayal of the party as a violent and dangerous organization. The FBI's tactics not only dismantled the Black Panther Party, but also discredited and destroyed the lives of many innocent people who were associated with the party. Moreover, the party's members were involved in shootings, torture, and murder, leading to the party's decline. The party's leaders also faced internal conflicts which contributed to its demise. They had different views on the organization's direction, leading to disputes and rivalries that sometimes turned violent. Only very few people can stay uncorrupted and focus on their real cause once they get power, and unfortunately, the Black Panthers' leaders failed to do so. In 1974, Huey P. Newton was expelled from the party, leading to a split that resulted in the formation of 2 separate factions. This split weakened the party and divided the black community. It broke the unified front the community was presented to the outside world, which gave access to authorities like the FBI to further damage the party and force it into demolition. The absence of the party leader, Huey Newton, who was imprisoned for much of the party's existence, escalated these issues. Some members believed in a more militant approach, while others advocated for a more peaceful and community-focused strategy. These internal conflicts led to shootings, torture, and even murder of fellow members. The party's leaders were often targeted by law enforcement agencies, resulting in many arrests and convictions. The party's membership declined, and its activities were increasingly limited, leading to the party's eventual dissolution in the 1980s. Despite the party's downfall, its legacy has had a significant impact on American society. The Black Panther Party inspired other black activist groups and movements and paved the way for the fight against systemic oppression and discrimination. The party's principles of self-defense and community service continue to influence activism today, highlighting the need for individual and collective action to address systemic oppression and discrimination. The party's legacy serves as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for racial equality and social justice. It is hard proof of how much the black community has suffered to get where they are today. However, the party's history also serves as a cautionary tale about the impact of systemic discrimination and oppression and the need for peaceful solutions to societal problems. With new discoveries and hidden secrets about black history waiting to be uncovered, you won't want to miss out on the next episode. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Till next time, Take care.